Hello, Erongo Talk viewers. Adam Hartman here. We are standing at Swakopmund Salt Company, hoping to bring some flavor to your day. As always, we will be bringing you the weather and tides, as well as some news. And then we'll be talking to the Fistball Association's president and one of Namibia's pioneer fistball players. So stay tuned for this. All right, so for the news, a week or two ago there was an incident at the Swakopmund police station in which a fight or resistance broke out between inmates and police officers, which consequently led to the inmates managing to get hold of mobile phones and sending photos via social media, crying foul and saying that they have been misused by police officers. The photo showed lashes on these inmates' backs, on their arms, on their faces, and they claimed that they were brutalized by the police officers. But when Erongo 24/7 contacted our Erongo spokesperson for police, Inspector Eleni Shapumba, he said that they are aware of the incident, but instead the police have opened a case of alleged assault by threatening and also criminal injury against the inmates, and that this matter is actually being investigated. This is not the first time that there have been such incidents, and so we will just have to see what the outcome of the investigation is. So what we do know is what Shapumba said was that a lot of times he warned people or the public not to bring in contraband cigarettes, to bring in drugs, to bring in mobile phones into the cells, which inmates use illegally. And this often prompts the police officers to go and investigate the cells to get these contraband illegal items, and this sometimes can result in confrontations between the two parties. So the next article has to do with the recent algal bloom that took place at Walvis Bay that resulted in tons of mullet or springers washing ashore at the Walvis Bay Lagoon, and hundreds of people rushing with buckets and buckies, to fill up their quota of fresh seafood, which some called was a gift from God. So this was a great event, but the Ministry of Fisheries issued a press release stating that this was caused by an algal bloom, which deprives the water of oxygen, which drives the fish closer to the shore. And as the tide pulls out, the fish end up on the beaches. And obviously, this was a buffet for the people. They did say that the algal bloom was not poisonous, and therefore the fish could be consumed by humans safely. There was also an incident now with the Swakop River washing into the ocean, bringing a lot of mud, which stuffed the gills of marine life, causing lots of octopus and crayfish to crawl out of the water, and providing another buffet for the people. Who doesn't want calamari and kreef? But the ministry did warn that people need to be careful of that because these animals could be in a state of decay, dying. So people need to be aware of that. Finally, we bring you a sports story. CFC maintains fistball dominance. Cohen Fistball Club retained the Category A title, while Swakopmund Fistball Club, SFC 1, defended the Category B trophy in the Bank Windhoek Fistball League's opening tournament played in Swakopmund over the past weekend. And we will be hearing more about fistball features when we have our interview.
I'm joined by Kristof, who is the president of the Fistball Association. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Well, firstly, can you tell me the effort it takes to pull off such a large event, Kristof?
To be honest, we have a lot of help from SFC, so their help of putting together the fields, the tents, the food. So we actually just check that the branding is correct, that we get the Bank Windhoek all over the place, and of course the people who are here. That's the most important for us, so we love it.
All right. For how long have you been a president, and how are you finding it so far in this journey of yours?
All right. I think it's now my second year. So it hasn't been that long, and I actually have to fill quite a large footstep, and it's not easy, and it's also not, it's difficult to know what your job is and what you have to do, but you kind of grow into it slowly, and I'm not that comfortable with the talking, to be honest. So, but yeah, you grow into it, and you just hope, or you know, the people who have been there will always help you, and they got your back, and that's the most important, because everything we do, we know we have the backing from the old committee, and they help us a lot. Yeah.
Definitely, and who can't do without a support system, right?
Exactly, not at all.
So I'd like to ask you about today. Are you happy with the setup? Are you happy with the numbers that came? Are you happy with, I see this year it's 6 youth teams. Wow, that's amazing stuff. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, no, that's very awesome. We really didn't expect the amount of teams that have registered for the tournament, especially the youth. We really expected maybe around 3 teams, so having double that amount, 6 teams, and even the seniors. I think they were first, we registered 10 teams. At the end, we are 9. But the setup it's beautiful. The field is really nice. Especially I heard about it 2 weeks ago. It was really crap in a sense, and what they have done to this field, to the grass, it really, the ball jumps well, and SFC has done an awesome job.
Just taking you back to the youth teams that registered this year, I must say that this is really evident that there is hunger in the youth with regards to sports. Why do you think it's important for the youth to actually give themselves such exposure with regards to the sports that they're actually good at, to, register and take part in so that they can be seen?
Yeah, I think it's very important, and I also think with fistball, the benefit is you can actually play on an international level, and it's a bit easier to get into the international level. So there are under 18 World Championships. We have sent teams to the under 18. We actually 2009 we had the 2009 we hosted the under 18 World Cup at SFC. So it's really, there is a huge potential to play on that level, and I think that's also the hunger for the youth to play the sports, because you can one time maybe be a Namibian player.
Definitely. And I also just heard from Christian. I spoke to him earlier on that he also got to the international level. So kudos to that.
Yeah.
I'd also like to ask, what are your expectations? Who do you have your money bet on for the teams that are gonna take part in the finals? How are you finding it so far with regards to the teams that got to the semi-finals and so forth?
So it's always CFC, actually, Cone 1, who will be the favorites for the tournament.
Yeah.
But SKW1, us, are actually the reigning champion of this tournament. But
Yeah.
I do believe that Cone will probably win this year. But you never know what happens. And otherwise, I think the teams that have come so far, there were a few hiccups here and there, but it's really a competitive field.
Yeah.
So it's still Cone 1, but under that, I think there can be some. Yeah, I don't want to say it
He doesn't
because I
want
want
to
to
say
be
it.
second.
All right, and we have an upcoming tournament again, scheduled for 5th of March in Windhoek, if I'm not mistaken. It's taken an SKW. What can we expect from that?
So I think that's the first league round,
Yeah.
to be honest. So I think we can probably expect the same amount of teams, maybe even a bit more, especially because it is in Windhoek, so it's only Swakop who has to come down.
Yeah.
So SFC, and hopefully we have the same amount of youth teams. That's what I'm hoping for, maybe even one more. You never know.
Yeah.
But it will probably be a similar setup, but probably only 2 fields, because SKW we only have that amount of space.
Yeah.
Otherwise we need to go to the soccer
to the
fields.
soccer field,
But you never know. If we have to do it, we'll probably do it, but we will try to keep it at the Fistball field.
Anything for Fistball. Anything for
Exactly.
Fistball. All right. Any last message to aspiring people soccer, not soccer, but people that want to take part in Fistball that are really in their comfort zones? Any aspiring message to them?
Yeah, I think, and that's what I said at the beginning with the youth, you can always get into the international level, even when you're 24, 25, 28. If you start the sports and you have some kind of ball eye and ball skills, you can still become a national player. And I think that's something everybody would love to. And for example, in 2023, we'll probably fly to Germany for the World Cup.
Woohoo! Auf Deutschland!
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think that's the benefit of the sport, that you know that one time you can go overseas, you can have the experience of playing a World Cup against Germany, against the Switzerlands, against Brazil. So that's really an experience you can't take away.
Definitely.
And that's what I think is the greatest.
All right, so Fistball has proven that age is really just a number. So age is not a limit, guys. Go for it, register. Now is your time to shine. Thank you so much, Kristof, for joining us today.
Thanks a lot.
And I'm joined by one of the players, Christian. How are you, Christian?
Well, thank you, and yourself?
I'm well. Christian, I understand you're one of the players. For which team are you playing for, and how are you finding the mood so far?
I'm a player of the SFC. I play in the SFC first team. We've got 2 teams here today and 3 youth teams for SFC. And yes, we're enjoying it so far.
All right. And were you part of the previous Bang Windhoek Fistball tournaments before? And how would you say it is different this time around?
Yes, I've been a player for a long time. I started in 1995.
No way.
So it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, and the mood today is a bit different. We've got a lot of youngsters around. It's the first time that we have 6 under 15 teams at such a tournament, so it's great.
I must say it's really great. It's 6 teams. Imagine, guys, 6 teams. So how are you foreseeing the rest of the day? How do you see your expectations?
Well, we've made it to the semi-finals now.
So far already?
Yes.
How do you feel?
Ooh, yes, I'm hopeful that we'll win the semi-finals and make it into the final.
All right. And looking forward to the next tournament. Helmo told me that it's taking place now in March on the 5th. What are your expectations for the next tournament?
Well, from the SFC side, this year we will try and beat the top teams in Namibia.
Yeah.
We've So far, always been third, and we hope to just break the ranks a bit and get up there, be first or second.
All right, so I'll just add one more question. Since you're a player, what do you think you find most difficult when you're competing against the other teams? Can you just give us a brief description about how it is to be on the field?
Well, most difficult is that our team, we struggle a bit because we can't all practice. We don't all live in Swakopmund, so that's part of the negative.
Yeah.
But the great thing is that we've got a good team together, and yes, we're hopeful that we can make it far this year.
All right, one last question. Why Fistball?
That's a difficult one.
Ever since 1995, no, really, why Fistball?
I joined while I was 13 years old, and I've stuck with it, and it's given me a lot. I've played for Namibia overseas in Europe, and yes, I've just enjoyed playing the sport. So yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you've heard it from Christian, one of the players of SFC, right? SFC. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Hi, yes. So I am joined by Helmo Minz, who is part of the association. How are you, Helmo?
Good, how are you?
I'm well. I'm finding myself on the field, and I understand there is a fistball tournament taking place. Can you briefly explain to us exactly how many teams this is, and just a brief description about the tournament?
Yes, okay, so this is the Bank Windhoek opening tournament. It takes place every year, so it's always the start of the season. It's a trophy cup, so you have a tournament vibe going on here. We just concluded the group stages, actually. So 9 adult teams are participating from 3 clubs. 2 from Windhoek, it's a Cohen Fistball Club, and the SKW, and from here we have SFC from the coast, and then we also have 6 youth teams that are participating today. Yes.
Oh, nice. So far, how is the vibe? How is the mood? I see the players are still active. How is that going so far?
No, it's great. The weather is nice. It's super. You guys really did a great job with the weather. Yeah. So there's no wind. It's excellent conditions. Pitch is perfect. So yeah, now we've as I said, concluded the group stages. Now we have a lunch break, and then we go to the knockout stages. Yes.
All right. And compared to last year, have you done anything different this year? Since you said it's an annual fistball tournament, tournament that goes.
Yeah, I must say it's much bigger than the past years, especially because of the youth teams, and also more players from every club actually joined us now. So it's actually, for us it's actually a fistball festival, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. So what are your expectations? We're just almost midway. I understand the fistball tournament is still later during the day. What are your expectations, and what are you excited for today?
The final matches, to be honest. So we are heading now into the semi-finals, and I think it will be a tight affair again between SKW1 and CFC1. So, and with all the supporters and fans here around, that's makes things more interesting, to be honest. The atmosphere is better than the past years.
And between the 2 teams that you mentioned, now who do you have your money bet on?
Well, I would say because I'm playing for CFC1 on my team, but I won't take anything away from SKW1. They're always a big rival of ours. It's very competitive. It's always close affairs, so yeah, it will be a tight match, I think, yes.
All right. So I'm looking forward to the finals, as you said. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
is Sensei Semi Neumann, and this is my student, Daniel Kries. And we are both from Budokai Karate Swakopmund. And we just want to show you one way of defending oneself if you're going to be attacked.
For Monday's weather report, for Walvis Bay the sun will set 23 minutes to 8 and will rise 6 minutes to 7 on Tuesday. Walvis Bay will experience a maximum of 24 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 24 degrees Celsius predicted for Tuesday. A west-southwesterly wind will prevail with a speed of 9 km per hour. For Swakopmund, the sun will set 23 minutes to 8 and will rise 6 minutes to 7 on Tuesday. Swakopmund will experience a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius predicted for Tuesday. A west-southwesterly wind will prevail with a speed of 9 km per hour. For Henties Bay, the sun will set 22 minutes to 8 and will rise 4 minutes to 7 on Tuesday. Henties Bay will experience a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 19 and a maximum of 24 degrees Celsius predicted for Tuesday. A southwest wind will prevail with a speed of 9 km per hour. For Arandis, the sun will set 25 minutes to 8 and will rise 7 minutes to 7 on Tuesday. Arandis will experience a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 17 and a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius predicted for Tuesday. A southwest wind will prevail with a speed of 9 km per hour. For Usakos, the sun will set 28 minutes to 8 and will rise 9 minutes to 7 on Tuesday. Usakos will experience a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius predicted for Tuesday. A south wind will prevail with a speed of 7 km per hour. For Karibub, the sun will set 29 minutes to 8 and will rise 10 minutes to 7 on Tuesday. Karibub will experience a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 19 and a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius predicted for Tuesday. A south-southeasterly wind will prevail with a speed of 7 km per hour. And last but not least, for Omaruru, the sun will set 30 minutes to 8 and will rise 10 minutes to 7 on Tuesday. Omaruru will experience a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 19 and a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius predicted for Tuesday. A south-southeasterly wind will prevail with a speed of 11 km per hour. And that was your weather report for Monday.
All right, so we've come to the end of our episode today. We hope that we added a little bit of flavor to your day. Thank you for joining us. Please follow us on our news website at erongo.com.na. For those who want to share some news tips with us, good news, bad news, whatever, just follow the telephone number and send us to this new email, tips email that we have. And you can also follow us on our TV channel, which is oneup2.com. We wish you a wonderful, flavorable day further. Goodbye.